Welcome, pilots! This video is part of my guide detailing every high-security combat site. While I normally fly an Ishkar, for Blood Raider sites I've instead chosen to fly another assault frigate called the Jaguar. This ship performs well enough in this site. Combat anomalies appear in your probe scanner window, and you can warp to them immediately. The Blood Den is a combat anomaly found in all systems with a security status of 0.6 or lower throughout the western regions of Amarr space. This includes Aridia, Genesis, the Bleak Lands, Kador, Kor-Azor, and Khanid. This site can be difficult for younger pilots, but there is a strategy you can use to run it more quickly. It also has a decent potential for some extremely high-value loot drops. More experienced pilots with high DPS ships tend to dominate this site. The site comes in two different configurations. The first configuration has 2 rows of freight pads and silos, with light missile batteries. The second configuration has a single cargo platform, with heavy missile batteries. Each configuration is actually quite unique, with a completely different series of NPC spawns. The first configuration with the 2 rows of freight pads has an initial set of up to 8 defenders, consisting of only frigates and destroyers. Younger pilots can engage this configuration, and with a little insight on the NPC spawn pattern can perform quite well. Within a few seconds of arrival, a small group of 2 or 3 NPC frigates arrive, named Collector or Seeker. These frigates will hit you with tracking disruptors. If this is forcing you to close range and endanger your ship, you may want to take out these ships first. Destroying them causes a new group of up to 4 NPC frigates and corvettes to spawn. Unlike the comparable den sites from other pirate factions, destroying this new group is what causes the site to despawn. This doesn't mean the site is actually complete, however, as there's still an opportunity to trigger a faction spawn or an escalation. You can actually ignore the initial set of defenders and instead target one of the light missile batteries. Destroying either of these will spawn another one. Taking out this second light missile battery will spawn a new group of up to 6 NPC frigates and destroyers, located somewhere above one of the rows of freight pads. Destroying this group will trigger the commander wave that potentially includes a Dark Blood cruiser NPC, along with up to 4 NPC frigates. Taking out this final group has a small chance of escalating to a Blood Raider Psychotropic Depot. The rest of the site can be ignored, if your goal is to maximize your ISK per hour. The second configuration with the single cargo platform has a much more straightforward spawn pattern. Younger pilots will find this configuration takes significantly more time to complete, as it tends to rely more on having higher DPS. There are 5 waves of up to 6 Blood Raider frigate, destroyer, or cruiser NPCs. The cruiser NPCs will sometimes hit you with energy neutralizers, so if your ship has a strong reliance on your capacitor, you'll want to keep your distance. If you're lucky, a bonus wave may appear with a Dark Blood cruiser NPC. The Dark Blood NPC will always drop a Dark Blood brass tag and a single Blood medium crystal. If you're even more lucky, it may also drop a Dark Blood module, or an amulet or talisman implant. These are the prizes you're hoping for, if you're out looking to make some ISK. If the site escalates to a Blood Raider Psychotropic Depot, it will appear on the Exploration tab of the Agency window. A ship like the Jaguar, fit with light missiles, is capable of running the light missile battery configuration in about 3 minutes, when ignoring the spawns that are unnecessary to complete the site. The heavy missile battery configuration, however, will take upwards of 8 minutes. Because the faction spawn is a cruiser, having high DPS is very advantageous. Ships like the Orthrus or Gila are quite popular for this reason. While recording the footage for this video series, I kept track of the statistics for 50 Blood Den sites. Over this period, 5 of these spawned a Dark Blood pirate. 3 of these dropped something beyond the faction ammo and tag. In all 3 cases, it included a mid-grade amulet or talisman implant, and a Dark Blood module. 3 of the sites escalated to a Blood Raider Psychotropic Depot, but unfortunately for me, all 3 spawned in low or null security space. I'll be detailing the Blood Raider Psychotropic Depot in a separate video. In high-security western Amarr space, you'll also find the Blood Burrow, Hideaway, and refuge among the combat anomalies, as well as combat signatures named the Blood Hideout, Lookout, Watch, and Vigil. Note that the Eastern Amarr regions have very similar combat sites featuring Sansha's Nation NPCs. Other NPC pirates include Rogue Drones, the Serpentis, Guristas, and Angel Cartel. My journey to host a complete set of combat site video guides began in 2020 with a similar 13-part series for Serpentis combat sites. I followed this up with a similar series for Guristas and Angel Cartel. If you find yourself outside of Amarr space, you can check out those videos right now. If you're curious about fitting assault frigates for combat site exploration, you can check out the gaming section of my website over at RileyEntertainment.com. Stay tuned to Riley Entertainment for more EVE Online combat site guides, and smash that like button if you enjoy my content.